What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, there's rumors, there's reports that's swirling around and surfacing and gaining a lot of momentum and a lot of traction that we're going to possibly see the highly anticipated undisputed welterweight showdown finally take place between undefeated unified 3-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer who is widely considered by many to be top 2, if not the number 1, definitely top 5 pound for pound best fighters in the world, in Errol the Truth Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. has 28 wins, no losses, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach, taking on undefeated 3-division world champion, former undisputed junior welterweight world champion, currently the reigning WBO welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the number 1 best pound for pound fighter in the world, in Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is 39 wins, no losses, no draw, 30 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. With that said, there's reports that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence are going to be facing off against one another June 17th, okay? June 17th in Las Vegas, Nevada, okay? And we know there were some cryptic messages put out by Terence Bud Crawford, who said we're almost there, when responding to fans saying that, when are you going to fight Errol Spence? And then Terence Crawford, he doubled back and he said, you know, fans take things out of context, and then, you know, they make it, you know, essentially the media writes a report on it, and it don't be true, then you be wrong, so on and so forth, right? Errol Spence, he put up a post, and Errol Spence in the post he put up, he stated that, you know, he's not apologizing for his inactivity, okay, but in a few weeks it will all make sense, alluding to, you know, the fans will be satisfied in a few weeks when he make his big announcement, and it'll make sense why he's been inactive. The only reason it'll make sense that he's inactive is that if you know, he announces the fight with Terence Crawford, because if he doesn't announce a fight with Terence Bud Crawford, then it will not make sense to the fans, simply because if it's former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman, well, that was expected. So then the fans will say, well, we expected you to fight Keith Thurman, so why would it make sense that you was inactive all this time and then you announced to us that you're fighting Keith Thurman? That wouldn't make sense, because we expected you to fight Keith Thurman. So fans would still be clamoring for, you know, clarification as to why he's been inactive. If you're still fighting Keith Thurman, the rumor reports that that was who he was going to fight to begin with, okay? And for Terence Crawford to respond to fans that said, you know, when are you going to fight Errol Spence, and so on and so forth, and then he says, we almost there. These are cryptic messages, right? They want to keep things private. So I went and did research. I know people are reporting it. There's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of momentum gaining, because fans are eager and anticipating this fight. So any little bit of information that's put out there is going to excite the fans, or at this point, half of the fans are probably disappointed, so disappointed, and they so, you know, tired and dried up of the fight that they don't even care until they actually see the two fighters in the ring. So I did my due diligence. I reached out to a few people who stated that June 17th is a possible date, but it's not certain, people. Sorry to bust your bubble. It's not certain that Errol Spence will be fighting Terence Crawford on that date, okay? That is a target date for Errol Spence's ring return, but it's not certain that it'll be Terence Crawford on that date. It could still be Keith Thurman, people. It could still be Keith Thurman. Now, is Terence Crawford and Errol Spence negotiating? 1,000%, right? But are they negotiating to assure us that we're going to see Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford next, is the question. It could be another situation and scenario that is like when Gervonta Tank Davis announced that he's fighting Ryan Garcia but then he's not fighting Ryan Garcia till April. Then he announced after he got a deal done with Ryan Garcia that he'll be fighting Hector Garcia January 7th, right? So he fought Hector Garcia first, but he announced that he's fighting Ryan Garcia first. And so it could be a 2-fight situation where Errol Spence is going to fight possibly Keith Thurman in June, and then Terence Crawford later on in the year, okay? The target date for Errol Spence's ring return, as I'm being told, is June 17th. But that doesn't mean that the opponent is going to be Terence Bud Crawford. Now, I know that's who the fans want to see, right? But it's still a possibility that we could get Terence Crawford versus Alexis Roca, who is his WBO mandatory challenger, and we could still get Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman, people. So I know we all want it to be Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, June 17th. But people, I'm here to tell you that date is just simply a date that they are targeting for Errol Spence's ring return. With or without Terence Crawford, that's a date that they want to have Errol Spence make his ring return. Let me say it to y'all again. With or without Terence Crawford, that is the target date that they want to make Errol Spence, or have Errol Spence make his ring return. So it's not certain that it's going to be, Terence Crawford, as the opponent. But, Errol Spence, that's the date that they want to have his ring return on. So, again, it could be a little bit deflating. It could be a little disappointing, but at the end of the day, I do believe that we are going to get Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight by the fall. By the fall, I'm certain that we're going to get Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. I'm hoping that in the summer we get Errol Spence and Terence Crawford first fight, and in the fall we get a rematch, right? But it's not certain June 17th is going to be Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. I know people want to know that. June 17th, right? Fans are excited. We got a date. We got something to look forward to. But I'm here to tell you June 17th is just the target date for Errol Spence's ring return. It's not guaranteed that opponent is going to be Terence Crawford, okay? And Terence Crawford, has been dragging his feet with the negotiations with Alexis Roca, because he truly doesn't want to make the fight happen with Alexis Roca unless he absolutely has to, okay? I know, contrary to popular belief, I know the people and the fans are saying Terence Crawford is avoiding and Terence Crawford is ducking. Terence Crawford is not ducking. He wants to fight with Errol Spence. Errol Spence wants to fight. It is the powers that be. It is the business, point blank and period. That's what it's all about. So that's all I got for y'all, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. June 17th is, again, the target date for Errol Spence's ring return, not guaranteed to be Terence Crawford. So drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to